Hey there YouTube, Scott Thinks here, and today I'm going to be opening this Sharge 170 power bank. Now, I have a couple of other products from Sharge. I've been buying Sharge products for probably 3 or 4 years now, maybe a little bit longer, and I really like Sharge's power banks. In fact, I even have them before they rebranded as Sharge and they were Shargeek. But I'm going to talk a little bit about my experience with Sharge, why I bought this Sharge 170 power bank, and just kind of like go through my initial impressions on it and what I think about my experience with Sharge, these kinds of battery banks, etc. So first and foremost, let me talk a little bit about my experience before we open this up with Sharge battery banks. I actually have multiple of these battery banks. I've got 4 or maybe 5 of these power banks, and I've got a few of these Storm Slim power banks. These are, I think these are 20,000 milliamp hour batteries. And then I also have a couple of these, which are the Sharge 25,600 milliamp hour battery power pack. And I like both of these power packs a lot for a handful of features. Specifically, there's one feature that these power packs have that I really like, and that is 100 watt delivery in and out, or more. So what that means is generally when you have big battery packs like this in the past and you discharge it, you only get a little bit of power out of it. You only get like enough power to charge your phone, like maybe 15 or 20 watts. These things actually output enough power to charge your laptop at 60 or 90 watts, which is really great. It's more like being plugged into the wall than it is being plugged into a battery pack. The other great thing is that power is not just going out. The power coming into these battery packs is also high wattage power, which means that these things charge really fast. And I love that because I might be getting ready to hop on a flight, and I'm getting ready in the morning, and I remember that I'm going to use my power pack on my flight, and it's dead. Not a problem. I plug it into one of my chargers. I give it a rapid charger connection, and this thing will fill up in an hour. So I really like that feature of these power packs. The high wattage in and out from the USB-C ports on these power packs has been great. The other thing that I really like about these power packs, and I've now gotten spoiled by this feature, and I look for it on other things that I buy, and not a lot of things offer such comprehensive data. This power pack is actually dead. I'll demonstrate charging it in a moment here. But this has a really nice LCD display on it, and I use this thing all the time. This tells me how much wattage is being pulled in or out off of which port, and I absolutely love that because when I'm charging my device, I know that it's getting a rapid charge because I can see the number on here. I don't always trust every charger I plug into, so having the information here on screen to tell you how well it's charging or discharging is really helpful. I've used that information to troubleshoot bad cables, bad chargers, bad connections, etc. So for me personally, this information on a battery, especially a rapid input and output battery, is a must-have. And you can see Sharge is continuing that feature on all of their battery packs. This 170 is no different. It looks like it's got the same kind of really nice display as far as input and output. I'm looking forward to having that. Now, these are the things that I like about the Sharge battery packs. The rapid input and output, that is an absolute must. I love that now. The data, I love that, being able to see what's happening with my batteries. These look really nice, and they're built pretty well. Like, they stay together. I've banged these things around, taken them in backpacks, traveled with them on airplanes. I have used one of these in place of taking a wall charger over a weekend, and it's been great when traveling. So there's a lot that these battery packs have going for them that is right. And I think that lends to their popularity, and it's why people are buying them. Now, they are not perfect. No product is, and I want to share some of the less awesome experiences I've had with my Sharge battery packs. So let me start off with, first of all, the reason I'm buying this specific battery pack, which it was not provided to me for review. I just happened to need another one, and I really like these battery packs. So I thought I would just do a short video on these. But the reason why I'm buying this battery pack specifically is because I had another battery pack like this, but it stopped working. So the battery pack itself, the LCD would turn on, but I could no longer charge the battery. Everything I tried, no matter which port I tried, and unfortunately that battery pack, I've had it for a little while, so it's out of warranty, but I still had it less than 2 years, I think. And that battery died. These batteries, they're not cheap. They are pricey batteries because you get good performance out of them and they work. So I will caveat the fact that that battery pack died with an asterisk, maybe, because I also test things and I charge things, and often, plugging one of these battery packs into another battery pack, especially if they're smart and they have inputs like this, can confuse them and it can cause things to short out and die. So I may have tested one of my batteries with another battery and it may have gotten confused and zapped it. I don't know. But either way, the fact of the matter is my expensive, nice, loved battery pack was dead and out of warranty, which there was nothing I could do. So now it's a paperweight. Now, on the other hand, I have multiple other Sharge battery packs that are still up and running strong, still get banged around, and they work. 1 out of 4, like 25% fail ratio. I can accept that given that I probably have abused my power packs more than the average user just with the way that I use them. However, on the other hand, that is not the first time that one of my battery packs of this model broke. I actually had one that fell off of a coffee table. The drop was about 18 inches. And one of these chips here in the top snapped off. And Sharge did replace the device for me. It was under warranty at the time. I did kind of have to argue with them a little bit. They didn't necessarily want to replace my device because of it being dropped. But my argument was that if you specifically build a battery pack that is rated for travel, and like these things brag about being, TSA safe and made for travel, see right here, Airline safe, then I would expect that something that would travel should be tough enough to survive a shortfall. Of course, you shouldn't be dropping it all the time. Anyway, Sharge replaced that one. Now, it's important to note, I have only to date had issues with this specific squared model of Sharge battery pack. And when I went to go replace this battery pack, what I noticed on Amazon, where I got this one, is that they don't actually make this squared battery pack anymore. So it's very possible that this was an earlier design and just one that didn't work as well. So having said that, I have had some of these battery packs break or go out on me. It was primarily this kind of battery pack. This one may no longer be in production, but I do feel like that's worth noting. The two things that's worth noting is, one, that I have had battery packs go out, and two, that Sharge did replace the battery pack that I had issues with, and their support was pretty good, and they did get me a new product. So anyway, I've had no issues with my Storm 2 Slim Power Packs. These have been great. No problems with these at all. But like I said, today, this battery pack, the Sharge 170 power bank, I'm using that to replace this one. So I'm excited to open this battery pack up, but because it is not the same as this battery pack, which arguably I do love very much, based on my experience, even though I've had some issues, I like this battery pack, and I like that it's squared. I don't know if you can tell, but the new one is triangular, and I have some hesitation about this. I'm not sure how well I'm going to like that, so let's just go ahead and break into this. I do want to note something really quickly, though. One of the other things that I'm not exactly excited about, this is a 2400 milliamp hour battery, whereas this battery is a 25,600 milliamp hour battery. So it's not a big difference, but this battery does hold less. Go ahead and open this guy up, get into it, and see. I'm pretty sure of what I'm going to expect here. Sharge makes really nice products. Their stuff is really just awesome. The user experience, or the purchaser experience, is great. I mean, the box looks super cool. It's very nice. It definitely reinforces that you made a good purchase when you're spending, upwards of $100 on a battery pack. So I personally like to see that attention to detail in the packaging. Now, a lot of products out there have crappy products and good packaging, so the packaging isn't the only thing. But I do like the packaging. This Power pack came in a really nice box. Sharge products always come in a really nice box. You always get quality when you're unboxing things. So we're just going to slide this box back into the lid here. Let's see. Okay, so first thing that I noticed before even unboxing this is like, wow, that display is fat. That thing is so much bigger. I really dig the display. I like it a lot. So maybe that's going to be a huge pro. Not sure, but it is just something that I'm noticing off the bat is that the display is bigger. Okay, it looks like we have these two triangular inserts here. There is the new battery pack. And, you know, I would love to stand it upright to show you this screen, but it's triangular. So that's not going to happen. As I mentioned, was one of my hesitations, not for demonstration purposes, but just the fact that it's, I don't know, it's kind of weird. Okay, so here is the new battery pack. Here is the old Sharge. And yeah, so far I'm a little confused. This battery pack has less battery and it's bigger somehow. Yeah, I mean, like, it's bigger. Like, so wider in what feels like every dimension. Not a big fan of that. Wish that this battery pack was as compact as the predecessor or this model that I used to have and can no longer find. So not psyched that, like, before this was already my you know, beefy, chunky battery pack, and now it's going to be even bigger for less power. So not excited about that. Kind of ticked about that a little bit, and I don't know. We'll see. These are just initial impressions. Maybe using it will I'll warm up to it, but I don't know. It looks like there's some protective film. Yeah, there's some protective film on the outside here. Go ahead and peel that. Hang on. Maybe we can get you a little ASMR. Give me a second. Okay, there you go for your ASMR fans out there. Cool. Yeah, so I do dig how it looks. I really like the clear look of all of these Sharge battery packs. It's super futuristic, looks really nice. Something that I do notice that is an improvement, and I like this a lot, the LCD display is actually underneath the plastic on this model, whereas on this battery pack, the LCD display actually pokes up through the plastic. You can see here that it is not sealed around the display or the button. So I do like that this is sealed inside. It feels like that's going to offer this display more protection. This power pack also, it's missing some things. This battery pack, the first one that I have, has a DC output port. I really dig that. It's a rare feature that does not come on many of these battery packs, and I did use it from time to time. Not very often, but I did use it. I like having it, and this one doesn't have it. So less battery, less ports, bigger. Initial impressions, you know, I'm a little less excited than I was hoping to be. I was really kind of hoping this was going to be a little bit smaller, and that for trading less battery, and getting something newer, I was going to get something slightly smaller. And this is not living up to that so far. So still looks really nice, you know, not totally disappointed, a little disappointed. Ooh, okay, well, power on the display. Display looks really nice. I like the display a lot. It appears that it ships with a different display, and looks like there's different software running on this that looks definitely updated. So this one has a recharging time estimation, what looks like on it, and this one does not have that. So that's pretty cool. Let's see if I can't plug this power pack in, and let's test what it looks like. You know, I haven't read the manual or anything else, so let's just plug it in and let's see what it looks like, and then we'll get to unboxing whatever else is left in here. Okay, so here I've got a 240 watt capable USB-C cable, so that should be good. It looks like both of these USB-C ports are inputs, which is also good because, you know, these things get roughed up and broken over time. So let's see, we'll just plug that in. Took a while for it to pick up. Kind of shocked by that. So here we go. We see that it's running some estimates. It's telling me here that we're charging at 88.6 watts. That's pretty good. Normally when these batteries are dead, they will charge at their 100 watt input while they're dead. And then as they start to become more and more full, as the battery fills up, the wattage that's being applied comes down. So I do expect that when this battery is depleted, probably 30% or less, I'm sure it's charging at 100 watts, but right now we're getting 88.1, 88.4 watts. Looks like it estimates that we'll be charged from 66% to full in 23 minutes. So pretty cool. I do like the display. There's like some updated, space-ish graphics, which, I don't really need necessarily. I kind of liked when this looked very clean and minimalistic. So I did talk about some of the things that this battery is missing compared to its predecessor or this older model. And it was that DC port. But the other thing to point out is that this new battery has a 170 watt max or a 140 watt max input. So 170 watts out or 140 watts in. Now, I believe that this one is a 100 watt max out and in. So the size in this battery probably comes from the fact that it seems like this one can handle much more wattage than this battery can. And we'll put that to the test. I do throw this battery on my MacBook from time to time, and it is a full-size MacBook, so that does draw a decent amount of power. It looks like we're already down to 22 minutes on the charge time, and the charge is holding steady. So anyway, again, these batteries really brag airline safe. I have never had any problem taking them through security anywhere, so I can definitely vouch for these batteries going through security. Futuristic prism design. I think that's the way that they talk about the triangular shape that I don't like. And water resistant. That's cool. I don't know what the IP rating on the water resistance is. I might have to look into that further or maybe tag that in the video. Okay, so here's the box. It has some nice little glossy black on black logos on it. Comes with a cable. Okay. Yeah. Looks like a nice cable. Definitely looks like a nice cable. It's a 240 watt power delivery cable. I like that. I'm umming a lot. The other cable that these used to come with, I like better. So these previously came with a yellow silicone cable, which I liked because that cable stood out in my cables when I went to go grab it. If you have power packs like this, or if you use high power delivery USB-C, then you know how annoying it is when you go and you grab what you think is a nice braided cable and you go to plug in your laptop and you think it's going to charge. And it turns out that it is not a nice cable, and instead it is only capable of doing minimum wattage and your device doesn't charge. That is a bummer, especially when you grab the wrong cable when you're traveling. So there's nothing wrong with this cable per se, except for the fact that I think the previous models of Sharge that came with the bright yellow cable, that was a lot more personality. I liked it a lot better. In fact, the yellow notes were a lot more present on this. You can see it on the outside everywhere. It looks like the yellow is a little toned down, but I would have preferred that yellow cable. This one just looks too much like the other cables that I have sitting around, and there's nothing wrong with it, but again, that yellow cable was just nicer. So this is a nice cable. If you like braided cables, this one's got a good fabric braiding on it, and it feels really good. Plus, it's a 240 watt delivery cable, so that's excellent. So we have a cable in the box. What else do we have in here? Okay. That looks like that's it for this little insert. We have, I think, a serial number here that I could use for support if I need it. We have one of these bags. I hate that things include these stupid bags because I never use them. This one, it even looks like it's made out of nice fabric, which makes me more angry because I'm just going to throw it away. So there's that bag, and it covered half of my light over there. So genius. Here we go. We've also got the power pack specification in here, the little manual. Let's see. Nothing too surprising. Recharge time indicator, we figured that out. The battery time indicator, overload indicator, input output, and thermal protection, which I have triggered on mine by rapidly discharging and then recharging them. So it is good that they have this because these things do get warm. And the bottom of these are metal, aluminum, I'm guessing, and that is necessary for heat dissipation. So if you are rapid charging this, don't bury it like under a coat. Definitely put it somewhere, or like put it in a bag. Definitely put it somewhere that it can be out and breathe and get some air. That way it can dissipate that heat when it's charging. Let's see. Exclusions from warranty: unauthorized repair, misuse, collision, negligence, abuse, liquid ingress, accidents, modifications, and incorrect use of accessories. Sure. Makes sense. And that's pretty much it. You know, I mean, not a lot. You don't really expect much. It's a battery pack. You plug stuff in, you charge it, you plug it in to recharge it. But these are the initial impressions. So anyway, those are the initial impressions that I have. Obviously, I sound like I'm a little on the fence, and I'll just say it. I'm a little on the fence. We'll see how this battery pack compares to others. I do like this battery pack. This one is actually my wife's. This one still works. She also uses Sharge products, so maybe if I don't like it, I'll have to swap her out and see if she'll take a newer, arguably better in many ways battery pack, and I can just continue in my safe, comfortable little zone. That's it. That's all I had to say. I just wanted to share my experience with my Sharge battery packs, talk about how much I really do enjoy the Sharge product. I think these are fantastic battery packs, even if I have little nitpicks, mostly based on being spoiled so much with these battery packs and really digging and loving this battery pack. So all of my nitpicks come from a place of just being very spoiled by having a very, very great product from Sharge. I do like what they make. Most of their stuff is very, very high quality. Not everything. There have been a few things that I've gotten from them that have been a little meh, but I do appreciate how much they try, what they do with their design, and everything else. I don't know. Do you have Sharge battery packs? Have you tried these out? What is your experience? I used to use Anker battery packs for a long time, and if you have an opinion on Anker versus Sharge or a different battery pack that you're using, I'd love to know. I love battery packs and testing out gadgets and stuff, so if you do have any battery pack or gadget recommendations, drop it in the comments. Hit me up. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If there's anything you want to see, let me know.